Daily Post Political Analysis with Harry Atisson, Mark Obrien, and Terence Malapa.
Welcome to another time back again. You me talk about a little bit what happened yesterday, the government, and this is from the Vanuatu Telepost 107 with them 7. Because with me, the news specialist, Mark. How are you, Mark? Good?
Very good, thank you.
Very good. I like your black shirt.
Yes, just call me Johnny, the man in black.
All right, okay. The man in black. Now, another side of your left, Terence, you look tired, brother?
Oh yes, yesterday Mr. Nafudelo Parliament kasab tutak kimi gamba kimi rai.
It's a very big day yesterday. Very big day, yeah. Big day yesterday. Now, Mark, finally, after how many days since last year, we have the 30 ministers.
Last week.
I mean, we are talking about the politics,
Okay.
Preparation towards the election.
Do your thing.
Come kasem lo time, you me come yesterday. We have a prime minister with 12 ministers lo country. I think start with you, Mark, first time. Finally, we got one.
Look, yes, we have. And congratulations to all 52 members, men and women. Well done, the 52 of you. It was. I actually think this is quite a good cabinet. What they've done is they've been careful who they selected. There's a couple that have dipped out. Obviously, Matai, with his current cloud over him, he's been off to the bench. Salwai, with his performance, he's off to the bench. I mean, we're going to be straight about this. Salwai's obviously wasn't going to get back in and was lucky to be able to have some strength with, I think, Marco Mahi has been the one that's actually managed to keep them there in that grouping because they didn't need RMC in this grouping to be able to hold the government. And they managed to they had to give away two ministries in order to be able to keep them, but they didn't really need GJP. So what they've done is they've tried to pick the right people. We go around the table. I think Marco's was starting to do a good job at Lands. He was making the right sounds, and I think that he needs to have that opportunity to make some changes. What he said. Sometimes I don't like what Andrew Nappert does as internal affairs, but he's pretty straight and he's pretty strong in that department. It's good. And of course, the legend of climate change is Ralph Regan-Vanu. And we said that before, during, on our interviews with him, and it was good to see that he's got that portfolio. And I think because he certainly represents us well overseas. And he's got 4 years ahead of him of travel. He likes aeroplanes, he likes travel, he likes talking to them. And I think but he's the perfect man for the job. He really is. He's got the charisma and stuff, so congratulations and well done. Xavier at MIPA was a bit of a gentle choice. It was a combination. They could have gone either way, but I think a bit of youth in there and a bit of enthusiasm. Although the only problem is, I think it would have been better to have someone that could feel the pain of where we don't have good roads, because on 10 of their roads are sensational.
I spoke with him yesterday after the election. I said, road. He said, yeah, we will fix up the roads. That's the good news.
Yeah, and of course, Addy was should never have been put back in Mipu because he's foreign affairs, so he's there. I don't know anything about Joe Andy. Johnny Canapo, of course, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance. He chose that position. He could have been the PM if he wanted to. He had the numbers. I don't think anyone can dispute that. And I think that became pretty clear with what we've got here. So congratulations to him. The big winner of this, and besides ourselves, is to get Dean Wilson in from My Way. I think that was a huge effort and a bold move from all of them, but I think they recognised they needed to put a little bit of grassroots talent in there, and someone that's very successful in his own agricultural sector. He knows it, he understands it, he knows it at grassroots level, and he knows what it's like to carve it out of nothing, to carve it out of the bush. So he's exemplary for that. He's also well educated. He's well connected and he's very well respected. So big congratulations to him. John Stiltari probably deserves another crack at health, because health is probably the worst one you can do. He's copped a lot of criticism. He's having trouble with his DG. We're going to see how that sort of pans out. But I think that he's learned from his first crack at it, and I think he might. And there is a will. There seems to be a bit of a will in this cabinet to go. Samson, if you had asked me 6 months ago, would I like to see him as a minister, I would have said no. But after his performance, when he got criticised for nepotism with the standards, Bureau of Standards, and for what he did with the trade side, and he wrote that letter out, published it in the paper, I said, mate, you'll do me, because he's the only one that's ever said, this is what I'm doing, and if you don't like it, to hell with you, but this is why I've done it, and there you go, do whatever. So tick his box. Simil Johnson, he only just had a little dabble in education after Samson was moved out. And I think that we'll just see how he goes there. The biggest problem he's going to have is removing all the RMC public servants out of the education department, the DGs and the chairmen they've put up that are blocking the education of our children and are really causing a problem. But I think the fact that there's only 2 RMC, there's 5 in total in the government, I think we're about to see the end of RMC's dominance in the public service sector. And it's going to be a huge change. And I'm a big fan of Marco's. And I think Jotham Nappert, well done. He held us together. And you have to admire a man that's been able to navigate what's happened in the last few months, work his way through it, keep his team together. When he needed to, he stood down as Deputy Prime Minister and allowed Matai in. Arguably that might not have been the right thing, but time will tell. And he's come through now and he announced this, and we talked about this before. They had this announced, this grouping, and he held them together. And I haven't seen anyone do that for probably 15 or 18 years. That's very, very powerful politicking without actually making a big scene. As for Jack Norris, well, you know, he topped the polls out in the Farte rule, so I guess they've got to let him look after the Oceans. I mean, we can talk about the new ministry after, but they had to give him something, I suppose, because, you know, he was put up by RMC, so that's the 2 RMC people. There you go, that's my take.
Now, Terence, makita lang mo ting timplem lo kata tetinya. You
Makami summarize me Prime Minister, but just lo claro mo si lo maivo constitution lo maivo. Pati man yung Minister lo Agriculture Ian Wilson. And the first time ever since 1980, accepted lo 45 years, premier lo country he got 1 minister.
So my boy been got MP before.
My boy got MP, Paul Rantari, o the Boy Doro. But to kata di karena mo speaker.
That's correct.
Di karena mo speaker.
So congratulations to
Congratulations to Mr. Ian Wilson was one first ever minister.
and that's a good news. So you talk about small last edition, you say maybe he can become the prime minister. People listen, I think we give them something. And so Magitalem, agriculture, I think this is very, very good for him. What about
So bagian by susilugut how leadership lo leaders party what chotam. Ami Ian Wilson mi kontes mi kam amas yai pas amas term igam inote one portfolio istalo sideline
humble
emodum sopandi tulis istalo sideline WhatsApp mo study to belo raunia also okay matai you go you spell I'm not blotong away. Before I'm Chonamos, you go, you spell. Every Chonamos, you go, you start church ball. Why you to Garamon Narwan Oligam? Why you become 10 by you shall come, by you shall minister. So, Bamba, you mean no surprise, or Naran will not stop by no Friday morning, by my Oligo, the establishment of the parliamentary committees. Mr. Balis have established other members of all the committees.
so this coming Friday morning?
This coming Friday, Alo Apasi.
Okay.
So, lo narwan bagen, if you tell them lo Yauko group, a little bit expensive small, Yauko group. Then when me come lo one come one, and me ask him, yeah, me one them, you must give me. So you look here for an affairs, me poo, health, after you will have no for the with this speaker bagen. So me come, you must give me.
So this is done yesterday.
Again, congratulations to everyone.
Everyone want them. Congratulations everyone. More congratulations to the opposition or the two list inside the part of government. They still leaders. Now, can I ask you?
Just before we go, we need to clarify that certainly Jotham's leadership was good. So was Johnny Canapo's with VP. What we failed to mention here is that unlike LPV was LPV, the other two, which was RMC and GJP, but the one that was the block that was immovable was effectively, and it shows here in their portfolios, was IG with VP, and with their pairing, and they were straight up 15. So it didn't matter what the others wanted to do or didn't want to do. What we need to do is respect the fact that even though he could have at any time, Johnny Canapo kept his team there when he was under a lot of pressure to jump ship and go back the other way because what had unfolded in the media with the passports and with the money coming in, different things. So I think that these guys would have got that wherever they went. So when you go shopping, and it doesn't matter what shop you go to, you're still going to walk out with your goods. I think the fact that they stayed here to try and get stability, and I think, to be honest, when you look at the composition here, I think we've got a pretty good composition of cabinet members, enough fresh faces, enough old faces, but we don't have the ones that used to get in their own way, that I think we might get some equity inside the cabinet. We might get some stuff done. I'm pretty excited, actually. Sorry, I just had to bring that up.
Terence, kutim.
Kuti memang suluku tu lah. Oli butuh mal presiden, vice presiden. Sardo istibat asai. Pas Sardo bayo lagi memang lita bagaimana bisnis. So istana mo you want show ala emi butuh vice president lagi go mako mai. One kuti mesti macam tu.
The good thing I look yesterday is that former Prime Minister Salwai was just sitting down there, watching them. While he signed and he was like a very respected, honorable member. And former Prime Minister, let me start to give him support. All young fella. That's young people and the old one, and they can. I think they can drive the boat forward. The ministries. Chopande, sorry, I'm going to ask you too. Also, me, I'm a sportman. I don't know where is sports. Come on, there is no Ministry of Youth and Sport. Terence, you have explained me?
Lo understand me se Ministry of Youth and Sport. Oli Karawat Ministry, be oli talam se department by Mr. Under lo justice, but what one of you miaram oli sing out lem lo is it different again.
That's the argument of the
It's
sports people.
MOJCS, which is Minister of Justice
Community services.
and Community Services. So, yeah, okay.
So oli se pesta kan nila but tam oli sing out them Ministry of Education is it different again a little bit.
Education dalam se Ministry of Education, Youth and Training. Menusa se sports kamat lo youth ya. You think or not?
You must go for lo bagan lo find out more.
I don't. I mean, okay, define youth and sports. I think they're gearing up. It was when I spoke to Kanapo after the election and before the election, he was very much intent to bring in a form of civil conscription for our youth and take it forward, a different department. So I think we'd have to see, but also to bring in work on the skill sets. Now, when you come through a form of, we'll call it civil conscription, where we take the kids, put them into camps around the different areas, like through the different provinces. There might be 500 or 600, 1,000 in each camp. They'll have people there. They'll have all sorts of training. Some of it will be sports, but a lot of it will be skill set based. And they'll also use it as a launch pad to be able to get them their passports, get them organised, take them overseas, seasonal work, bring them back in. They do that for 2 years, and they go back out and they can continue to do what they're doing. But they've learnt some discipline, they've learnt some respect, and they've learnt some different skills. So I think that you'll find that they'll introduce that into a combination, which will also involve teaching people different skills, whether it be plumbing or refrigeration, and let them find out where they want to go and then come and work to put placements on it. So I think that seemed to be the plan that was coming. There was something I was getting a clear message from all I spoke, and that's obviously taking account from people from both sides of the house. Ralph Regan-Vanu was very strong on that when I spoke to him, when I had in my interview with him as well. So everyone identifies that we have a problem. So I don't think they're trying to get rid of youth in sport. I think they're just trying to find a home for it where they can actually put it in a better spot. And I wouldn't mind betting that some of that will fall under the Prime Minister's portfolio.
So, so all youth, you still got place plus the inside government. Sports, you still got place. But we have this coming Friday. Plus, I have more information about what's happening with sports especially. But Midisi got space plus stuff.
No, they put out 22 million worth of equipment, like for setting up these these multi-purpose courts throughout regional Vanuatu. I thought that was awesome. That was done very much on the quiet, and that's awesome. That's what we're trying to push for, is more of these things so people can do it.
Multi-purpose court is very, very good because you can have futsal, basket, netball, everything in one. So, because every province is very good. So, you may love sports, don't worry, be happy. There will be good news coming up. Now, one new ministry also we talk about. New ministry, fishing and ocean something?
And marine life.
And marine life. Can you explain this?
Well, I was hoping you could. I mean, to me, I've never liked them doing it. I never understood why they're doing it, and to make a ministry out of it, that's, I find it quite strange that we have a Ministry of Fisheries that has more motor cars than the Ministry of Agriculture. I mean, and probably agriculture's got more boats than the fisheries. It doesn't make sense. It's not that big that it needs its own. To me, I can't see it's that big that it needs to have that. But certainly, you couldn't really have fisheries and sports, could you, I suppose?
Oh, yes, maybe.
Although fishing and
young people have to go on fishing. So, I must go fishing sometime. What am I thinking?
Mila tinggal mila mia sama tangwe mi garam tuna fishing wana mi garam sablo we oli seba yumeke one tin fish one factory do tin
fish.
tin
Tin
tuna
tuna.
o tin fish blim ya. Be gat semite no gatia so ba yumi ko ya ba yumi garam fish ba yumi export yumi me got.
By the time, you should cut now.
Mana tahu yumi sugar.
But you got big fella salt water, and you got plenty of fish. Now, one something we might ask him later. Sorry if I'm wrong or right. Petition. Suppose you got one petition, you come out one old money, and then the time say no, you have something here to respond to the electoral office. Petition is close what time?
After 21 days.
21 days. What's happening if there's something happen?
21 days from when, Terence?
21 days might be the week or next week.
21 days from when? From when they get sworn in?
After the official declaration. For declaration till now.
Yeah, well, no, yeah, we had 21 days before we had to go.
10 more days.
10 more days, yes,
10 more
you're
days.
right, yes.
10 more days.
So, what I'm thinking is something should come before or after?
No. Any election petition you may go directly to Supreme Court. Supreme Court by me tell more date. Lo by you sit down and look them. More back again. Time we one election petition we come. It never got one election petition yet to live in him.
Custom today, never got.
Never got. Election petition that you call court.
Yes, we have. There has been a couple.
Ah yes, sorry.
Yes,
It got
yes.
one lo barak sope. It will win lo.
And then we had the one with the guy with the, you know, because he was a bit naughty, but, well, it depends on the final electoral commission. Finding out a wrong after they've gone and done it. I think you've just got to let it roll. We're going to have that. We're going to have court cases. We're going to have all sorts. It's just normal life. So if we get worried about that, and so the best thing I sense now is a sense of calm, because finally we've got the government elected, the people we put there looking after us, and these nefarious public servants that ran amok for the last 3 months. And for the first time, I'd have to say that the public servants have been naughty little squirrels, and it caused the community quite a bit of unrest and put a lot of uncertainty and a lot of fear into people. But now that seems to have gone. Would you not agree? As soon as this got announced, these blokes got elected, it's like, wow, we're happy about this.
Well,
No, you're not happy.
I like the front page today. PM is seeks stronger ties with US.
Well, I was talking to Trump, and he was quite happy with that.
Oh, true, you've got a phone call. I think this is the first time I saw something on the paper with US. Strong tie.
Doesn't make a change, eh? Like normally we've got the sickle and the gold star and the red flag, and it's like, you know, here we go, China, but now he's gone shooting for the stars for the thing, which I think it's what he's doing is going back to the Vanuatu roots, which and they should foster that. We should foster that with the US, because wasn't the US based themselves out of here? There was something like 500,000 troops during the Second World War came through during the time. It's where they set up the Battle of Midway, was taken from here, Coral Sea, boom, all restocked and regrouped both here and in Sando. And a lot of history there. And of course, geopolitically, we're a very good place to be. And I think most of us get a little bit nervous. We don't really want too many of anyone here, but at any rate, it's we certainly, you know, we're a very neutral country, and it's just nice and refreshing to have a Prime Minister that's pro-America as opposed to pro-China.
Thank you, Terence.
All due respect to China, I don't have a
I mean,
problem
yeah,
with China
yes,
either.
China's been doing a lot for us too. Now, Terence, this is program is short because now we have
Not
a
enough
government.
steel in some of our
No,
buildings.
this is Plota. Now,
Skinny, fell down the bastards anyway.
the good thing is we have a government, Laran
What?
country now. Good thing is that you make
Can I bring one other thing up, because I'm just in a good mood now?
Okay.
How many Prime Ministers has Vanuatu had?
How many prime ministers? Oh, that's a good question. You start counting until how many prime minister now?
Lo 2022 no got we got 5 ni.
So 22 customer we got 5. Ale from 22 down to 1980, how many?
We've had 25. I don't know if they counted yesterday's one, but anyway, we're going to give it 25 and 44 years. America's been coming up 250 years, and they're on their 47th president. Now, this is a surprising one, and please don't shoot me on this. PNG, I think it's 6.
Yes, 6 for very, yeah.
No,
Six or
PNG
four?
4.
Four.
And Fiji is 6. And Solomon Islands is 6. Well, it's 4 or 5. But anyway, the highest out of those 3 countries is 6 for many more years than what we are. And here we are, we're sitting on 25. And that's after we had a head start with the first 10 years over and haven't won. So like in 34 years, we've cracked through them.
So how many we have? 25.
You wouldn't really want to be nominated, PM, wouldn't you? You'd sooner off be...
If 25, then what I want is I want to see the 26 PM in the next 4 years.
I'll tell you,
In the next 4 years, that's what I
don't
want
want
to
to see another election for 4 years.
Baik, saya kat
That's why I'm asking. For me want them look. If you see me start 25 PM now, Vanuatu, me want them look number 26 for the next 4 years. Not 1 or 2 years time, no.
by me. Yes, immunity be. You say all politician be ya. Every time that we got one ordinary session of parliament. From we got 9 man, we have session 1 million. One practice.
One practice.
One practice.
I mean, normal finish.
I mean normal finish. So by you watch them lo facing bro, what you go the budget. Suppose you say only play wise, all some for my government, only go listening out them extraordinary was them. After the person budget. After the listening out them ordinary after. Nice. But you got extraordinary 27. If you call them ordinary,
Full number.
by 9 months I was saying.
9 months I saying.
Pe Olimas passem budget ASAP, belum making back all road, everything from budget or not appropriate limit.
They've got a fair bit. We have to admit, hey, like out of all I've been here 25 years, right? And this is the first time I would hate to have been a politician elected to. I would like to sit on the back bench and just poke fun at them because it's going to be hard work. They've got no money, got no income, got no CBD, got nowhere to put. Like go and find me where's lands at the moment, and where's their records, or where's justice and where's their records, or where's finance and where are their records. I mean, remember we got hacked before, and then this time we got screwed up by an earthquake, and we've squashed everything. And God help us if we get a cyclone or two that's going to come and screw us up. But we just need these guys here. We want to be sick of the look of them, and have people that are consistent in what they decide to do. And we need them to come out and tell us. We know what they want to do. We know that they want to try and fix a couple of things. And look, if they can do 10% of what needs doing, we're all going to go.
That's true. No, I agree with you, Mark. Now it's for them to start working together as a team, and then build them Vanuatu next manifesto. So Terence and Mark, big thank you. After the Plani Doctor, we have a government, we have a good prime minister. So we are looking forward for the development coming up. And Friday is the first Toran Blokata. Before we call Mark, Terence, any something before you may round them down this program?
As me looking forward lo arma announcement lo Prime Minister lo by vitala mot 100 days plan lo this coming government lo by looking say by me also but me say by out lo 100 days plan by me mas full time lo pusum mo kata public servant lo by mas work hard lo provide back service kan back lo yumi mo lo meeting or kata goal lo NSDB.
Okay, look, the public servant speech lo Prime Minister is very strong. One teaching director no perform, go through out. Very, very strong. So Mr. Shekem one talk yesterday, where he come out the nation, every teachers and every directors must work. Me start from now, Kasim Templem. Mark, you?
I think for the first time when we had this snap election and there was a host of issues, one of the things that really screamed out, besides the fact that the last legislature was a very ordinary bunch of squirrels that couldn't work together, was the fact that same level of underachievement was acceptable in the public service. And that's the first time in my 25 years here that I can tell you that I didn't think anyone had any control over anything except Cheryl Aller, who's the DG of PM's office. The rest of them just saw opportunities to promote themselves and really didn't look after us. And I don't think any of us felt safe. I don't think any of us felt like anything was going to happen. And I think all of us started to lose hope, to be totally honest. So I think the way these guys have done that, I wish them all the best. And we just want to see them get in and crack down. And I remember Ralph Reganvano, when I interviewed him before, he said, we just need people who want to get to work. So hopefully, not only these front men, but their people behind them that are in their parties can get in and help them too. And instead of all living and festering around Port Vila, get out and start to see the community and see what needs to be done.
That's very true way from Mark. You may Mr. Not just driving the cars around. Please call the community, give everyone, the whole Vanuatu, looking 1 minute, Plokata, Ali Misa. But anyway, lo behalf of Mivela 3 and team, lo Vanuatu Telepost, 107 and Pasevem. Congratulations, lo Nivela government, and congratulations to the opposition. Big fella, thank you, Nivela. And if you are praying for Vanuatu, thank you for your prayers. From 3 of us, Thank you.